everybody. Welcome to the Temple of Geek podcast. My name is Monica, and today I'm here to talk with comic book creator Alexandrea Callaghan. Alexandrea is a contributor at the Temple of Geek podcast. She is our resident comic book expert. She also covers conventions. So we're so excited and we're so proud of her. And she's here today to talk about her new comic project. Alexandrea, welcome to the podcast. So excited to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I've worked for Temple of Geek for a little over a year now. I've also been a contributor at sites like Sartorial Geek and Geek Girl Authority, and Heroic Girls hosts my podcast, Lady Comic Book History. So I've been involved in analyzing comic books and writing about comic books for a long time. As an aspiring screenwriter, I thought it was time to challenge myself a little bit, so I switched mediums and wrote my first comic book.
Both of them are storytelling mediums. What is it about storytelling that compels you and you just want to put things to paper?
I've kind of always been like that. It actually started with writing song lyrics in high school that were not good then. They're better now. But I've always just felt the need to get my emotions out. I have big feelings all the time. And I feel like if I don't write them down, then I get really in my head. Because of that, I am officially diagnosed with depression, and escaping into stories like Doctor Who and Supernatural is something that really helped me deal with it. And so I decided that I wanted to write something that really connected with somebody the way that those stories connected with me. And I will do it in whatever medium the world will let me do it in.
I love that, especially if you think about depression coming from a therapy standpoint. Mm-hmm. Writing is really therapeutic. Writing is really liberating, whether you're writing about your depression yourself or if you're just writing.
Right.
It's a wonderful exercise to help with coping with depression and things like that. So can you tell us a little bit about your new comic?
Yeah, so it's called From the Darkness, and it follows 4 teenage girls that with puberty and growing up are also getting folklorian-based powers that they have to learn how to manage and deal with. And eventually, they're all thrown together and they end up fighting monsters and everything. So it's very Buffy the Vampire Slayer-esque. It mostly just focuses on challenging stereotypes and figuring out who you are as a person and how you fit into the world. I feel like specifically in film and TV, but a little bit in comic books too, there aren't that many stories that are coming-of-age stories for young girls, and so that's something that I really wanted to contribute.
I know I don't want you to give anything away. What are the things that you're really excited about?
The thing that excites me the most about writing this book is I think teenage girls are villainized for just about everything they do. They can't like anything without it being called into question or it being called stupid or it just gets
cringe or whatever.
Exactly. They get reduced no matter what they do. There's no winning being a teenage girl. So I think giving teenage girls powers to fight monsters. All of their powers are based in folklore monsters that are based on women. They're women monsters. And I think that helps kind of fight back a little bit. And it's very much coming from the internal high school angst that high school Alex felt a little more, I'm fighting previous Alex's depression for myself through this story.
That's amazing. And so tell us a little bit about the art. Tell us about your artist.
Okay, so I put out this massive call on Twitter, because comic book Twitter is actually pretty active. And I was like, hey, need an artist. This is the premise for my comic book. And I got lots and lots of responses because I know with technology the way it is now, a lot of people are trying out art and things like that. But that said, a lot of the art starts to look the same and computer generated. And I didn't really like that look. I wanted it to feel like a comic book. And so I finally got to a message from a guy named Alex. So it's an Alex and Alex book. It's great. And his art style is it's beautiful. It's stunning. We have the first 5 pages done. And he's great. He's from Mexico. I set the Kickstarter goal so that literally it's just going to paying him to finish the book. That's most of what the goal is. And he's been really, really great. He's on time. He sends me pages immediately. He gives me updates. He'll ask for clarifications on how I want something to look, but he's put in a lot of really amazing work on this book already, and I'm really, really lucky to have found him.
That's awesome. And then speaking on the Kickstarter campaign, can you tell us a little bit about the Kickstarter campaign?
Yeah, so it starts on October 1st and it ends on November 29th because I'm trying desperately to give myself as much time as possible to make this happen. The goal right now is $15,000, which seems like a lot of money, but I broke down the percentages in the Kickstarter paragraph. It is mostly going to my artist and my letterer and my cover artist so that we can finish the book. And then about 2,000 of it is for production purposes. And then, I need to send them out and market the book. So that is going to be the rest of it. I am paying myself nothing for this book. I just want it out into the world, and I want to make sure my artists get paid what they're worth. So that is the game plan. I am hoping to have the book finished. If the Kickstarter is successful, I'm hoping to have the book completely finished from my artist to my letterer by February, maybe March. I'm hoping February, and then everything's to the printer by March. Everything's out to everyone by May.
Exciting. Very, very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about your main character for the book?
Yeah, so I tried to make it an ensemble cast that's kind of similar to Paper Girls dynamic-wise, because they all have very different personality types and everything. So there's going to be some clashes there, and them figuring out, because with their powers, they have to figure out, moral compass and how are we going to use them, and when do we help and when do we don't, and all those things. But I have Babs, Lupa are going to be paired off as best friends, and the first issue or two really centers on them mostly. Babs has water-based powers, she can control it, she can manipulate it, and because of just ideas in almost all folklore and mythology, she gets visions because water is often tied to clairvoyancy in some way, and she actually opens the book. She's the first image you see, and it's mostly going to focus on her struggles with that and what it means to not even see into the future, but kind of glimpse into it, and what her responsibility is with having that ability.
That's awesome. Well, is there anything else that you want our audience to know about your book or about the campaign?
I just want everyone to give it a chance. We've got on the Kickstarter page, there's 2 of the pages that my wonderful artist and letterer have completed already, so you can kind of get a glimpse into the book. I have another amazing artist that did the designs for the stickers that we'll be sending out as rewards as well. And everyone has worked really, really hard on it, and I just hope it gets to be completed.
Well, I am one of those people who have been fortunate enough to spend a lot of time with you and talk to you about all things nerdy and geeky, and to have listened to so many of your interviews and everything. And you have so much heart, and you have so much soul, and you have so much thoughtfulness in everything you do. I just know that this is going to be good, and I'm so excited to see more. I'm so proud of you. It's just so exciting to see you put yourself out there, which is such a scary thing, right? To put yourself out there. But I'm so proud of you. And yeah, so if you don't mind repeating just one more time, where can they find your Kickstarter campaign, and where can they find you?
So my Instagram handle is Fangirl Productions 13. Same for Twitter. I am Lady Comic Book History on Facebook. And I am Lady Comic Book History on Spotify as well. And then it's just my name, Alexandrea Callaghan on Twitch now, because I've started playing video games. And my Kickstarter is linked on all of the above.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us and to share your your comic creation with us. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you, Monica.